Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about how to find specifically print books in Kennedy Library. So we'll look at how books are organized in the library in general, ways to find available books, ways to request books that are unavailable, how to check out books, and where to pick up requested books. So at Kennedy Library, uh, books are organized using a system called the Library of Congress classification system. And this is a system for organizing the world of human knowledge that's was set up by the US Library of Congress. And so the way that books are organized under that system, because they can't be networked, you can only put a book in one place on the library based on the thing it's most about, even if it's about multiple subjects, right? It can only sit in one place in the building. So until we had the internet, this is how physical information was organized for centuries. Um, so this is the Library of Congress system. What they do is they assign an alphabetical letter A to Z to a different category of human knowledge, all based on the 26 letters of English. Now they aren't initials, so the letters don't necessarily start with the thing that they're talking about, except in rare cases like with music. But of course, considering our subject, CAD, art, architecture, environmental design, landscape architecture, and city and regional planning type of topics, I'm going to be talking specifically about those areas. So each area can also be broken down into different subclasses. And so I have a couple examples here. The N and the NAs are architecture. Um, most of the rest of the Ns are still in storage as of the recording of this video, fall 2025. Um, we hope to bring some of them back as the post renovation move back in settles. But for now, we have the NA books in the building. And we also have the SBs which cover the landscape architecture, a subset of the S's. So these can be broken down even further. So I'm just having it, for example, the world of architecture, according to the Library of Congress, which granted is an old-fashioned system and can reflect historical biases. It's very hard to change. It's very slow process to change Library of Congress subject areas. So that's why you'll see some kind of antiquated language here. But this is how the NA section is broken up. So after the letters NA in the call number, or which is kind of like the address of a book, you'll see a number that relates to one of these subcategories of NA. You can look all these up on Wikipedia, Library of Congress, subject headings, Library of Congress classifications. You can look up all the breakdowns online. So here's just an example of various call numbers in action. We can see this is the NA 9000 area. So all these books start with, or most of them at least should have started with NA 9000 something. And these are on the fourth floor currently. And that is the area, if we look here, aesthetics of cities. So that's what these books cover in the world. They still lean more towards architecture than like the community side of human knowledge, but the NA 9000s are kind of the more city and regional planning related books in the world of architecture. Here's another example, the SB 400s, which are a subset of the horticultural section, specifically focused on landscape architecture, gardens, etc. So these are on the fifth floor. And this is just a couple examples. So how do you isolate for physical books um, when you're doing a search? Well, first you're going to want to start by skipping ahead here. Start by at the Kennedy Library homepage and start with our One Search tool. That's your entry point to all the stuff that we pay for. You will be asked to log in once you do a search, and that gets you behind the paywall for the digital resources that we provide, because we spend over $1 million a year on tools and resources and digital information to serve the entire campus community. So when you do a search, for example, on something like adaptive reuse, if you want to isolate, if you want to isolate for just for print books, you can choose the book filter under the active filter. So this is a screenshot of a search result page. And then also down here, choose Robert E. Kennedy Library. That's kind of our um, code for books that we own that are in print. And I can see the results show all books that have a highlighted call number. Again, these are based on the Library of Congress. So TH is building technology, NA is architecture. And so those call numbers are highlighted in blue. That's how I know I'm getting all my print results in via my filter. And so in this case, there are 87 books that have the phrase adaptive reuse, print books in Kennedy Library. And just a side note, if you put quotes around a phrase you search, it'll search that phrase and it won't split off the words into two separate keywords. With a phrase like an adaptive reuse, it doesn't make that big a difference, but with really common words, connecting them via quotes around them can really help with a phrase that has common words in it. And if you're ever interested in browsing, for example, you could find a range. This is the particular range that the landscape architecture books fall under. And again, this is on the 5th floor, and those are the types of call numbers you'd be seeing for landscape architecture. Now, there are going to be a couple options when you get your results list, and it can be a little bit confusing as to what they mean. So under retrievable collection, if you can request something from a retrievable collection under your book, that means it's either in storage and we'll pick it up, we'll pick it out of storage for you within 24 hours, and we'll put it into one of the lockers. And at the end of this slideshow, I'll show you what the lockers look like. But we have these pickup lockers that are just off of Dexter Lawn near the subway, just attached to the Dexter building. So very convenient location. You can go there 24/7. You get an email with a code in order to unlock the book and pick up your book, and then it's automatically checked out to you. So all you have to do there is hit the request button. You can actually do the same thing for books in the blue here that are in the main collection. Main collection means they're actually in Kennedy Library. You can wander up and find them yourselves, or you can hit request and we'll do the same thing. Within 24 hours, we'll take the book for you, put it into a locker, and you can pick it up later whenever it's convenient for you. In a couple cases, or in some cases, the books will be unavailable. We can't have everything, but we have a really great interlibrary loan system with all the CSUs and even going out beyond into a national network. So if it says local copy unavailable for your book, or check for availability and eventually says local copy unavailable, you can use a system called interlibrary loan. And again, make sure you're signed in so that you can access this process. But you can hit a little button that says get it, and we'll get it for you within about 5 business days, because it either will come from another CSU campus or it'll come in the mail. And same thing, you can pick them up at the lockers. Occasionally, there might be a book that's really new that almost nobody owns or that's really rare. Your college librarian, that would be me, can help you with that. So that's as a last resort, you can send an email and we may be able to buy the book new, and same thing, reserve it for you, and you could actually then request it to be sent to a locker. That can take a few weeks to actually receive and process, but it can be a last resort for you. Now, how do you check out a book? Well, if you're within proximity of Kennedy Library or within the library, all you need to do is download the Cal Poly Library self-checkout app in anywhere you get your apps. So just search Cal Poly Library self-checkout. We also have a couple self-checkout stations in the building, but the app I've heard is actually even more seamless than the self-checkout stations. And again, it's geolocated to being near the library, so that you can self-checkout with that process. Finally, the lockers that I kept talking about, this is what they look like, and it's a very simple process. The company is called Luxure One, so that's where you'll be getting an email from. So don't ignore it if you've ordered a book from us. And you'll be able to check out the book for as long as the lending party, or if it's one of ours, as long as we allow lending. So I hope that you found this helpful, and good luck with your searching for physical books.